Come and take it if you want it. Come and take it if you think you can. Come and take it, but I warn you, you'll have to pry it from a cold dead.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Southern Republic is back for another knife review. And we are going to classify this one as a rescue knife. I have been on my quest to find the perfect rescue knife for me, in my opinion. And this is the first in a line of rescue knives that I have recently purchased. There will be more to come, obviously. So let's talk about this. First of all, this is the Gerber Hinderer CLS, which stands for Combat Life Saver Knife. So this is a design by Rick Hinderer. He designed this while working, or I believe he still works, as a firefighter. And he saw the need for a knife that had all the tools that a first responder would need incorporated in it. And I don't entirely know exactly how long ago this knife came out, but if you would like the model number or any of that information, it is right about there. So it is model number, if I stop moving around, 22-01870 Hinderer CLS. Now there are two variations that I have seen. Hey, focus. Hey, focus. Seriously? Come on. There we go. We have focus again. So there were two models that I have seen, this being one of them, the other being a stainless steel blade with a red handle, and it was all serrated. That was the other version I saw. I did not find one available for sale. This is the only one I could find online for this model. This is actually the first Gerber product I have ever purchased. Now, I've issued some crap in the military, but this is the first one I actually purchased myself. So this is a first responder or rescue type blade. This is not necessarily something you would carry as an everyday carries type blade. The function and purpose of these is for your medical kits, your medical bag, trauma bag, your emergency medical kits, whatever you have. That's what I was looking for a knife for my emergency kit. And I think this is definitely an interesting entry into that field of knives. So let's get the general information out of the way. We have an 8.5 inch overall length. We have a 3.5 inch blade with a 5-inch handle. It weighs in at a whopping 5.8 ounces, and it is made of 440 steel. They don't specify much more. It was just 440 steel. Now the blade shape, if you know much about Hinderer, he has this very interesting Spanto blade. And this is a bit of a variation of his Spanto blade. As you can see, it is partially a Tanto, but it is a drop point. So Spanto, spear point Tanto. So as you can see, you get the spear point look, but you kind of have that Tanto grind going on in there. So that is where the Spanto, spear point Tanto, comes in. And why the flock is going on here? Good. All right. So back to Spanto. It is a spear point Tanto combination, as you can see there from the grind. The speed of deployment on this one is interesting. Actually, it's a very interesting deployment. It has these very oversized thumb studs on both sides, but you actually can unscrew that, and there's a smaller thumb stud right below there that you can use. He did these in a reason for people wearing a glove. You can get on that and deploy the knife. It does have a really nice deployment. It has a very interesting lockup though. It is, as you can see, a liner lock, but it is not a traditional liner lock. you don't actuate the liner lock with your thumb. You actually pull on this little button right here. You pull down on it, and I don't know if there's even a way to show this. What you do is you pull down on it. As you can see, you see it pulling in, and then you close the blade. So it's a liner lock, but it's a lever liner lock, kinda. It's definitely interesting. So you just use this. It's similar to an axis lock, you know, where you would pull down on both sides on a Benchmade. You just pull down on one side and you close the knife. It's very interesting. It locks up nice and strong. It has a really nice early lockup, as you can see there. Let me see if I can get a little extra light in here so you might be able to see this. So just find our sweet spot. There we go. So as you can see, we have a really nice early lockup on that. You can see a little bit better. You see how the liner lock is connected to that button there on the outside. That's your, and color coming back. All right, there we go. Pull down and we close our knife. So the handle is made up of a textured composite material, similar to kind of as an FRN feel, the fiberglass reinforced nylon. I don't know how long ago these were made. There wasn't a whole lot of info available that I found anyways in a brief search for information for you guys. But I do really like the way it fits in my hand. It does fit a really good full-size grip on it. You have a 5-inch handle here. You've got a little bit of jimping back here, and you can get a little of the jimping off the liner lock there when you're holding on to it. Isn't a whole lot of useful jimping here, but it's a good place to put your thumb, and you can lock into this really, really well. It's got a few extra options on here that we can go over. So we'll move from front to back. Obviously you have the blade. Here you have a rescue cutter that does have detent on both the closed and open position. As you can hear it lock in. So there is your rescue cutter. It is a little hard to get out. I can't just push it out. That detent is really hardcore. You really kind of got to hook it with a nail and get some leverage on there to open that. But I did a little test cutting earlier and it seemed to work relatively well. I've got just an old shirt that I use as a cleaning rag, and we'll just give her a little cut and see what we can do here. Watch me fail miserably doing this on camera. Yep, see, failing miserably. All right. So it definitely cuts through. It's not gonna be as, you know, clean as if this was on someone and you were cutting, but it cut right through that with relative ease. Now I got junk all over the table. So moving past the rescue cutter, per se, we have a very large lanyard hole and a glass breaker. Now it is just the same steel that is made up of the liners. It's not anything special from what I could find. It is not replaceable, but you definitely can do some damage breaking glass. Moving on to the last feature, you see we have this very nice oblong hole right here. This is actually a air tank tool. If you've ever dealt with a CO2 tank for someone that was on a breathing machine, this is the nut that would be on the top of it. You can just set this on and crank that open if you have to. That's what that was for. Now, let's talk about the pocket clip. We have this really, really nice large pocket clip. This is a tip down only right-sided carry knife. You don't have any other options. Right side carry, tip down, or right-handed carry, tip down. That's it, that's all you got. Although I would say a tip-up carry, you would probably shank yourself on this nice little glass breaker right here. So in this case, that works really well. The durability, I really can't speak too much to it. I haven't put it through much use yet, but it does seem like a really sturdy, well-built knife overall. I was able to get this on Amazon. I actually ordered it this morning at like 5 a.m. when I could not sleep because someone, a unnamed Brit, was texting me because he's in the freaking Midwest and he forgot Arizona's 3 hours behind him. Matt. Yeah. a-hole. But yeah, so I was awake and I was perusing Amazon at that point, and I found this bad boy after seeing a review on it a few days ago. And for $35 plus $3 for the express local delivery, I got this 7 hours later. It was sitting on my doorstep when I got home from work. So it is a really, really cool knife. I've been playing with it for the better part of the evening before posting this, and I really dig this knife. Now, it is definitely a low budget, high quality knife. So this is something, if you're looking for a rescue type knife, this may fit the bill for you. Now, in comparison, we have something a little bit more pricey, like the Benchmade Triage. This is the Benchmade Triage 915. As you can see, similar in size and function. They both have the cutters. This has a flip out cutter. This has the cutter there. This has a glass breaker. That has a glass breaker. Now this one has the oxygen saving tool. This does not. But clearly, we're running with 440 steel. This has the N680 Super Steel on it. Obviously, $35, $135. Huge price difference. You're paying for the steel, mostly, and the Benchmade quality. But again, I think this Gerber would really step up and do a great deal, especially consider it was designed by someone of the caliber of a Rick Hinderer. I mean, it just kind of blew me away that, you know, I've only really seen the new Hinderer collaborations, like, you know, the Kershaw Cryo and the new Cryo 2, the Thermite, which will be coming out soon, which I'm super stoked on, and his obvious collaborations with ZT, the 0550, the 0560, 0561s. You know, obviously really high quality, high dollar knives, but to find something that he designed years ago for Gerber, that most people probably have never even seen or heard of this knife, I thought that was really, really awesome that I could get a $35 Rick Hinderer Spanto bladed knife. So that's kind of where that extra wow factor kind of kicks in for this knife. But guys, I'm going to keep this short and to the point. I really am digging this knife. I'm going to definitely start carrying it, put it through its paces. But I really wanted to get some information out there about this, because I was on YouTube earlier and I could not find any, but maybe one review about this knife. And I was really, really blown away by what I saw in that review. And I got one for myself, really digging it. Gonna add it to my everyday carry bag in my medical kit. And hopefully maybe, well, maybe not, get to use it if the need arises for it. So, as always guys, Semper Fi, have a good day. Spanto blade!
So you best not cross that line. If you want this gun, you gotta come through us and take it one shot at a time.